Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Jason and Ashley here. This is our bonus episodes where we talk about, just racial inequalities. We just titled them, the Black Lives Matter bonus episodes. Just an easy way to understand when we're just trying to use our voice to talk about some certain things. And so today we're going to talk about defunding the police. Mm-hmm. And I know that can kind of raise some red flags for a lot of people, and it did for me as well. Mm-hmm. But once you do some research and really understand what they mean by defunding the police and not necessarily abolishing the police, it kind of makes a little bit more sense. So if you listening, just have an open mind and just hear our perspective on it.
Yeah, and I just also wanted to mention that in our last episode, we talked about the release of the Promised Land documentary. We have close to 800 views.
Shout out. So thank y'all for watching the documentary. Really appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, so it's on YouTube, and again, you can find out more if you haven't heard about it. Just go back to that last Black Lives Matter episode. But yeah, I'm so happy we've been getting a lot of good feedback. A lot of people are really learning about like the importance of land ownership, which was a big thing for me. So I was very happy to hear people say, "Oh wow, I'm never going to look at this the same. Like I understand how important land ownership is, and I understand these stories." So I'm just YouTube it.
Yes. Promised Land Loveology.
Yes, and again, thanks to everyone who came and joined us for the premiere, and thank you all for sharing.
Yes, and hey, if you haven't watched it yet, go check it out, and if you like it and love it, man, share it with somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but what you're saying, and this is kind of why I wanted to talk about this. Yes, some people are saying to abolish the police, but and some people are seeing defunding the police as a step toward abolishing them. Okay. So right now,
we're talking about defunding.
We are talking about defunding. So like Jason said about keeping an open mind, sometimes you've been living a certain way and you just can't imagine living another way, right?
Or you think your way is the best way.
So, so basically defunding the police is allocating the funds that are given to police by, these funds come from taxpayers' dollars, right? Correct. Allocating those funds to more community-based programs. Correct. Because I think at the gist of this is if you invest in education, if you invest in hospitals and, good health care and good housing, people will be in a much better state, and
you don't need the police.
And you don't really need the police.
Right, as much.
So going to as far as this idea of abolishing the police is why can't we be in a place, right? Like I know it's hard to imagine because we've always had police, in this country or for very early on, right? To have police, that why couldn't we be so happy that we wouldn't need police officers, right? I mean, so and basically finding other people to deal with some of the issues that police officers get called out for. So such as we need social service or mental health professionals to be called to a situation instead of a police officer. Homelessness, police officers get called on homeless people. Are they the best people to get called to on homeless people? So just
unless the homeless person has committed a crime,
right?
That's different. But if it's just somebody just laying out, that's that should be more towards mental health, because you don't know their mental state.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, again, it's just taking the city's budget for the police officers and investing it in the communities. Okay.
People wasn't concerned when they was saying, when they was defunding education or defunding healthcare.
Yeah.
So we're, keep that same energy, when you talk about defunding something, keep that same energy. Which one would you rather have more funds into? You want to have more funds in building up your future, or do you want to have more funds in protecting your environment. Now, I agree. You want to protect where you are, but what is necessary? You know, some of these, you know, these budgets are outrageous. So, you know, just you gotta kind of look into that.
Right, absolutely. And again, like, so I think the scary thing for people when they think about abolishing the police is like, well, it's bad people out here, like, which it is, right? So that's why I think that maybe we could get there one day.
But sometimes our society is creating the bad people.
Exactly. So that's the point. But in the meantime, right, like, it's going to, like, a person doesn't change like that, right? Sometimes it happens, but for the most part, the damage has already been done to these people, and now you have to help them. So in the meantime, right, as we start to pour more money back into helping, because I think that, you know, I don't want to say all bad people, but yeah, 99%, right, of people who do bad things is because they've had a hard life. They didn't have any support. They didn't have the education. They didn't have the jobs. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take that number a little bit lower than 99.
Okay.
I would say I'll probably say 80%. You know, because some people
bored. Yeah, like
just for whatever. Yeah. You know, pranks. You just doing stuff for whatever
have
reason.
No purpose in life or something, and they just do bad stuff.
Just want to do it.
Okay, I got you. So understanding that, right? Like, there's always going to be somebody out here that does something. So that's why this idea of, like, completely abolishing the police, because what you just said, actually, okay, some people do have a lot of great stuff going on, right? And they still choose to do bad things, right? So what do we do with those people, right? So so I don't know if I think that, all police officers should be, you know, gone. I don't know. I don't know what public safety is going to look like, you know, with no police.
I think that's a long time from now.
It's a long time from now.
Yeah.
But I definitely do support or defund the police because of, yes, I'm in full agreement that this money should be going. Some of the money should be going to, you know, programs to help people have a better mind, mental health, better physical health, better education. You know, why wouldn't you? Like you said, why wouldn't you want to do this? So back to what I was saying about, like, you know, sometimes you just think that's the way things are. You know, in bigger cities, Jason and I are from a very small town. We didn't have any police officers in our schools.
We did towards the end,
but starting out, and then they didn't carry a gun.
I think they did.
What police officer carried a gun in our school?
I think he did have a gun.
I don't think so.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't see a police officer with a gun at our school.
Okay. I think I got a yearbook where I was in, and, you know, the police officer was handcuffing.
Oh,
yeah.
You were pretending like you were stealing his little go-kart. I think you and some other boy.
Yeah, they came up with that idea. And I'm not paying attention. Oh, yeah, why not? But that's
now you don't like the way that looks.
Nah, it looks bad.
Yeah. Because it's a white police officer.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a gun. Did he have a gun? I remember that picture now.
I think they do have a gun.
Well, as a little kid, I did not have to worry about these things, right? Like, and I barely remember him being there when we were in high school. So, but for other people, this is like their reality. But I actually do remember a time there was no security guard. You know what I mean?
No metal detectors.
No metal detectors at school, or, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, so I'm just talking about, like, different realities. There's plenty of people who live in communities where there's no security guards and no metal detectors. Right? People that has more money. And basically it just boils down to money, right? Like, when people are scraping to survive, sometimes they do desperate stuff, and sometimes things fall through the cracks and all this other stuff. So, you know, sometimes this could be hard for somebody to imagine who grew up in that sort of environment. But for me, that's not too, you know, that's actually not too far-fetched, right? And I don't know how our little small town invested money, but I don't think they spent very much money on our police force, because there just wasn't very much crime, right? Like, people typically die of natural causes in our little town.
That's true.
Like, our little town of 3,000 people. So we lived in a reality where, you know, there wasn't that much policing. Like, we can run around pretty freely. we lived in the country. Like, have you ever thought about this? Like that, and then if somebody saw you do something, they'll probably just go tell your grandmother, right? Like like a police officer, you know?
Yeah,
what I
they're
mean?
not calling the police.
Yeah. So we actually did grow up in a different reality. So I kind of can imagine, not having that much policing happening,
Right?
Because I grew up like that,
Right.
But for some people, it's harder for them to imagine that.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. But we have to stretch, we have to stretch our imaginations to what is best for, our world.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But I mean, I think that's pretty much it.
Hey, man, what are y'all thoughts on defunding the police, man? Go ahead and shoot us an email at loveologypodcast@gmail.com. Definitely want to hear your thoughts. Definitely want to see some articles. Who knows? All I know is, some countries got it right. And, as of right now, something is seriously wrong with our country. You look at Germany, you look at Finland, you look at, a lot of these other countries, they are, number one in education, number one in reform. It's just like, okay, what are they doing right? Why do we have more black people, or basically legal slaves in America, than there were actual slaves back in the 1800s? Like, why is that? And I think it's on purpose, so these big corporations can get that slave work for as little as 20 something cents a day, or an hour. So, when you're in a capitalistic economy, or, your nation is ran that way, people try to find a ways to make that green dollar, and it comes up with a lot of unethical ways of doing it. We gotta get to the drawing board and figure out, okay, we need to make some changes, and some people's just not going to like some of the changes that that's going to have to happen. But that's just what it is. That's what change is. Change, people don't like change, and we need change, because right now it's not good for the future of our America. We need to come up with something.
Yeah, we got to do something for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like better education, better mental health, better jobs for people will automatically result in a better
close that wealth gap.
Yeah. It'll result in a better place for all of us, not just for just a select few, a 1% of filthy rich people. It'll be a better place for.
Like, what do you
all
need?
of us.
What do you need $1 billion for? Yeah. You can't even spend all that money if you wanted to.
No, your children.
You know what I'm saying?
Your children probably still couldn't spend up.
Probably could.
$12 billion.
So what's wrong with building a future for your future? Building it right now. Build the present right now. You don't have to be super duper rich. You can still have a great life, and you don't have to do unethical things. Like locking people up for no reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely want to hear your thoughts on it, and we appreciate you listening in on our bonus episodes, and we'll catch y'all next time.
All right, you guys.
All right, talk to y'all later. Bye. Peace out.